I've been uploading videos on YouTube for more than 2 years now and carrying a gun for over 3, and somehow I've never done a video of my first carry gun. Time to remedy that. If you haven't watched my video outlining all the guns I've ever carried, then you should check that out next. But in this video, I want to talk about my first carry gun and probably my favorite gun in the safe, the Glock 42. This little 380 gets a lot of hate because, well, it's chambered in 380 ACP and because it only holds 6 rounds in the mag plus 1 in the chamber. Compared to most semi-autos, we typically would expect a slightly higher capacity, but what this pistol is lacking in capacity, it makes up for in shootability, which is something you don't usually expect out of most small 380s because they're usually straight blowback, but the Glock 42 uses a tilting barrel like Glock's other models, and that makes it incredibly soft shooting. And if you want to learn more about the different kinds of recoil, I would highly suggest watching Lucky Gunner's most recent YouTube upload that I've linked somewhere on this screen and down in the description. The Glock 42 was my first carry gun, and for someone who is inexperienced, I really can't think of anything easier to effectively handle and shoot. Heck, I let a 10-year-old girl borrow my Glock 42 to shoot a stage with, and she absolutely rocked it. Not only is it incredibly easy to shoot, but it's also a great size for somebody who's just learning how to conceal. Honestly, learning how to conceal a gun on your body is a similar learning curve to learning how to actually shoot it. But because it's really not talked about a whole lot, I think that not a lot of beginners are expecting that steep learning curve and they wind up getting discouraged easily. That was definitely my personal experience as a new concealed carrier. And to tell you the truth, I'm not so sure I would be carrying a gun today had I started with something like the Glock 19. As a beginner, I felt overwhelmed by the size of the Glock 19, and to be honest, I can't imagine having to conceal it on a day-to-day basis even now. And it's partially because of this that I really don't think that it's wise to give the sweeping advice that you should carry the largest gun you can reasonably conceal, because reasonably conceal is very subjective and depends entirely on the person, their wardrobe, and even their willingness to learn new things. And when it comes to the Glock 42, there really isn't too much else to talk about. The Glock 42 is super simple. There is no optic cut or rail, just some iron sights and a decent Glock trigger, and very minimal recoil. Because of this, my gun doesn't have a lot added to it. Just Ameriglow sights, a striker control device, and a little bit of hockey tape. When I carry it, I will usually carry it with Hornady critical defense ammo. In the 3 years I've owned this pistol, and after the thousands of rounds I've shot through it, it's been incredibly reliable. With a mix of simplicity, shootability, and size, it really is kind of the perfect easy mode gun for me, or really for anyone. So the next time you're at the range and a friend brings a Glock 42, maybe consider giving it a try. It's way more interesting than you might expect. Thanks guys for watching this video, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to stay up to date on future uploads, and consider heading over to Patreon to support future content.